What's up, Pats Nation? Michael Lakis here. Another episode coming back at you of the Pats Tailgate podcast. Episode 9. Andrew, is that right?
Yeah, sounds good. We're on it.
You can't get the line right. Every time I ask you to do it, it's who's counting? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm just messing with it. There it is. Nailed it. We're back. Episode 9. Good to have the whole crew back. We say it every week, though. We like Mike. I'm not saying Mike's a staple now. Mike Davis down there on the bottom right. No doubt about it. Mike from Stoneham on Boston Sports Journal. If you haven't gone to Boston Sports Journal yet, you got to go. Greatest, best Patriots coverage there is. BostonSportsJournal.com. Greg Bedard has a great product over there. You need to check it out. We're all 4 members, and probably wouldn't get as good of news and notes as we get, and as real stuff as we get as we do from that site. So check it out. But we want more Boston Sports Journal members on the show. It's a tailgate, right? We're literally, if you have a microphone, if you have you don't need a microphone. If you have a phone and you have a mouth, come on here. It's a Zoom in this room. We can get as many people as we want, right? I think it's a basic plan. We might run out of users, but we'll figure it out at some point. But happy to be here. We also have Andrew Lakis to my right, Doug Lakis to underneath there, and then Mike from Stoneham there, Mike Davis beside him. Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm great. Good to be with you guys. It's the leaves are turning, and I've been happy since Sunday afternoon because I've got a playoff contender that I watch every Sunday.
Oh, so boy.
I'm in good shape.
I'm going to say Super Bowl contender, but we can talk about that in a little bit. Winter Coats is Andrew's username on Boston Sports Journal. Check him out. And Dad, Doug Lakis, how are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. It's a beautiful day here in the Carolinas.
I love that hoodie there. That that's a fine. Excuse me. I love the zip up there you have. That's awesome, man. Look, when did you get that thing?
I found it in Andrew's closet.
I was going to say, yeah, you want to know something? All right, here you go. Here's some bona fides, because I know everybody probably, all 47 people who listen probably are like, what are those accents and why are these guys talking about the Patriots? That jacket is from the Bledsoe era.
Love it.
Sure is.
I ordered it in the late 90s when I was in high school. And then Dad stole it from me like 5 years later and has worn it ever since.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Sunday.
Couple of thoughts about that comment. One, Dad, unbelievable. You're stealing clothes from your son. I can't speak to that, even though pretty sure I have a 90s Willie McGinnis jersey in my closet that's Andrew's. And also, and it's the old blue. It's the 90s blue. And also, we've now gone up 10 listeners since last week. It was 36. Now it's 47. 11
That's
listeners.
right.
So Andrew
it's 11, but who's counting?
Andrew keeps us climbing, which I love it. And it's great. Mike Davis, Mike from Stoneham. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm glad to be on with everybody. Sorry, I wasn't able to be on with y'all last week.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're glad to have you back. Also, Doug's username, DLakis. Simple, to the point.
Yep.
Great commentary on Boston Sports Journal. He's on there. Check us all out. Check them out again, BostonSportsJournal.com. Greg Bedard puts on a great product there. And if you haven't seen it yet, get on there, because we had the beatdown time of a century against what looked to be a fairly complete, at least in Greg's opinion, Cleveland Browns team on Sunday. So we'll start there. From a fan's perspective, Andrew, you brought it up. Remember, this is just fans' perspective. How did we feel? There's a little bit of analysis here because we got some people that have coached the game, watched the game a long time. But how did it feel, guys? What do you think? I was driving, so I was listening to the broadcast, which I enjoyed. It was great. Although the first drive, I did not enjoy that. I was a little concerned after the first drive when the Browns marched down the field. But how did you guys feel about Sunday? Yeah, no,
Zoe and Soki.
No, I wasn't listening to the radio. I actually had the NFL Game Pass on and was listening to Ian Eagle and Charles Johnson.
Oh, you gotta let me know next time, man. I'll send you. I've got the NFL Game Day Pass, and you should listen.
Wait a minute.
To Zolak and
Soki. Wait a minute. Do they have? I have the Game Day Pass like through Verizon, but I thought that was. Oh, is that a different than the radio?
No, you can do. When you get the Game Day Pass, you can watch the rewinds, and you can also listen to all the radio feeds home and away.
I ruined that. So I messed that one up. Let me tell you.
Just because it's better to listen to the radio guys calling on the radio.
Of course, because I can't watch the game. Instead, I listen to Ian Eagle.
I do love Ian Eagle.
I do too. He's great.
Anyway,
it was
great.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun Sunday for sure. And you know, okay, the first drive was not good, but the key was to see how they responded in their first drive. And it was, it was almost like when they went down the field and scored on that second drive, it was like, okay, here we go. Now we kind of got this thing back under control, and let's see how the defense does on this next series. And then, like, to Andrew's point, getting up Monday morning, I actually taped all of the Talking Head shows on Sunday night so I could listen on Monday morning and talk about how and see all the egg on these guys' faces from 4 weeks ago when the Patriots weren't any good and Mac Jones had a popcorn arm.
Yeah, did Rex say anything about his pea shooter?
No, Rex all of a sudden now is a big Patriots guy. And Belichick's the best coach in the NFL. And
Rex.
And Mac Jones is great and this and that.
What a loser. Rex Ryan. Get out of
Rex.
here. Yeah, shut up,
Rex.
Rex.
Got a personality disorder, I think.
Oh, man. Whoa.
That's
reckless speculation over here. No, I'm just kidding.
But anyway,
I just think he likes attention.
He did. 100%.
And I could listen. Of course, now I could listen to Ryan Clark all day because he is so all over the Patriots. It's awesome.
Well, he's got the take of the year, which is Pats are going to the Super Bowl. He didn't say they were going to win the Super Bowl. He said they were going to the Super Bowl. I guess when you get there, you got a chance. I mean, you got a chance, right? You're in the dance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double down. I put it again on the comments yesterday, I believe. It's the same comment that I had before. The first time I had it, it was after which game was that? Who did they play last week? Remind me.
Carolina.
It's early here. It's early. We're doing another early morning show. Yeah, they played the Panthers, and I put, watch this team go to the Super Bowl. Just watch. And I got like 8 or 9 downvotes. I put it on there yesterday. Watch this team go to the Super Bowl. Just watch. And I think I got 2 upvotes right now. So we're in a much
swing.
More, yeah,
this might be our 11 list. This might be our 11.
That's exactly right. Oh, Mike, how'd you feel, man? How do you feel about the game? Any takeaways or anything you saw? Just we're all happy today, right?
I agree with Doug. I think that when you watch that first drive from Cleveland, I was really concerned. I was like, wow, they just went through us like, a butter knife through butter. And it was bad, right? But then, and at first it was like, oh, they're back to doing the same things. They're not setting the edge. They're giving them these wide open holes. But what I really liked was the fact that they corrected their mistakes, right? That you could see that they're finally starting to get it. Like they adjusted. And they started making changes. Like, for example, it was really nice to see linebackers in there instead of safeties. I think a couple of weeks ago we talked about they played a ton of big nickel.
Yep.
And this time, even though Jamie Collins is on IR, they had Harvey Lange in there. They had Hightower in there more. That they were playing more linebackers, and those guys were getting in there and they were making those stops. Instead of those, Phillips and Duggar having to be in there and trying to take on guards. What a big difference when you got the right body in there, the right hat to put on a hat.
That's
right, coach.
Yeah. Well, the key then is that Duggar and Phillips now can play where they're supposed to play and play safety or play strong safety. And when they cover, I think when Duggar intercepted, if he hadn't intercepted, 2 would have intercepted it. So, they played the coverage like they're supposed to, and they use those guys to do that. So, I mean, it makes a big difference when your front 7 is a front 7. I mean, I
had a weird moment. I had a weird moment on Sunday on the first drive when Jalen Mills went off the field, and it was this mixture of emotions that I can't really describe. Where I'm like, oh man, like maybe someone else has to be in coverage, and then I thought about the depth chart for a second, and that feeling quickly went away, and I was like, oh no, as bad as he's been, we need him back out there. And then there's a sigh of relief when he came back out there later in the game. And I gotta say this, we've been giving Hightower a hard time this year. He's starting to play a lot better. I think it just took him a little while to get his legs under him. I'm not saying he's vintage, Hightower, 2014, 2015, but he's playing better. And Van Noy's playing better, which I thought he was dust when the season started, but he's looking better.
It's easier to play better when you're on the field and playing the spot that they play you well at.
True that, Mike. That's very true.
The other, agreed completely. I think the other angle to look at this is the fact that, like, this is also why you need young guys who can contribute splash plays.
Yep.
It's a whole lot easier for Hightower to do his role and not have to be the old Hightower. That's when right. Barmore is literally setting up a tent. He pitches a tent in the backfield.
Oh man.
2 seconds after every snap. And
Love
Judon's
Barmore.
coming off the edge, and then you've got young guys all over. J.C. Jackson. I mean, when the defense is getting big, disruptive plays from the young guys, then the guys like Hightower get to do what they do and occasionally make a big play, but you're not leaning on him to carry the defense, which is just not possible anymore. I mean, he's older in his career. He's come back from being out and having the year off last year due to COVID. And this draft class, holy cow.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, man.
Ramondre, Barmore. I don't even know what Ronnie Perkins can do, but at this point, it's gravy on mashed potatoes, baby. Ronnie Perkins is straight gravy.
I will have to say that because Barmore's playing so well on the inside, that the other guys on the defensive line are also playing better. And to your point, Mike, Wise played very well on Sunday after not playing well on the first drive. But, they got after it. And the key is they got after it for the most part with 4 defensive linemen. They didn't have to blitz a ton of people to get pressure on a quarterback.
That's right.
And, they made great plays in the secondary. To your point, when Duggar intercepted that pass, he turned into a running back down the sideline. I mean, they got some talent. They got some young kids who can play now.
Well, Bedard said it last year, like he wanted them to play quicker, right? And that was like the frustrating part from the fans' perspective is we had the oldest median lineup, I think, age lineup last year, still maybe have it. But now the young kids are starting to shine. They're putting them in the game when they're playing instead of guys rolling around looking slow out there, which is frustrating from the fans' point of view. I want to switch over real quick to the offensive side of the ball. We've talked a lot about defense. You put up 45 points against the Browns. And, Mike, you talked about it. They didn't really adjust much. Stefanski talked after the game about being outcoached. Dad, I think you brought it up earlier. Not really what I would probably talk about as a head coach, that I just got outcoached. And then Myles Garrett said they didn't adjust very much. Just not a great look in general for the Cleveland Browns coaching staff. But I want to talk about another rookie. 2 rookies that shined. First of all, we can take that Mac plateauing nonsense that we talked about a week ago and just throw that down the toilet because he was unbelievable. I mean, literally, I think perfect passer rating, if I'm not mistaken. 19 of 23, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns. No, not it was close passer rating. Hoyer had a perfect passer rating. He was 3 for 3, 85 yards in the touchdown, 158.3 passer rating, which was amazing. And so Mac looked just unbelievable. Kendrick Bourne's starting to come on, and I'm just fired up to see him. He's a playmaker. And then Ramondre Stevenson. Andrew, who'd you say he reminded you of? You told me on Sunday it was Hot Take Time Machine. You told me you reminded him of somebody.
This is when we go to the Doug Lakis text of the week.
Is it time?
As he did this one, but Dad and I talked after the game at like 4:30, and I was like, I've been trying to think all day who Ramondre Stevenson reminds me of, and I was
killing Torrey Dillon.
That's it.
Yeah, I was like, but I think it's the young version of Dillon. Is what I was telling Dad. It's not the New England version, which was like, I mean, he was great. He did what we needed, but he was more of a battering ram.
Right.
Early in his career in Cincinnati, he would pound you and run hard, and you'd also not be able to tackle him. Like he'd be down parallel to the ground and he'd get 4 more yards, or he'd escape and run for 80. And all day long, I was just watching Stevenson do that. And his center of gravity and body control, honestly, is remarkable.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Such a big guy. But the text of the week is that I talked to Dad about that in the conversation. And then an hour later, Dad text Mike and I. So I've been thinking, he reminds me of Corey Dillon. It sends a video of Corey Dillon. I said, I wonder where that thought came from.
Oh, Dad.
But it's all good, man.
You just needed to stoke the idea. That's all.
No, I feel like we got a theme today. You're stealing clothes and you're stealing hot takes. That's pretty much what's happening. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's great. No, but seriously, he's an animal, and he's not even that big. I told Andrew this. He's still got kind of the.
He's a load now.
No. Well, let me be clear. He's a load, but if you look at his body compared to I'm not saying he's not a big guy, but if you look at like Derrick Henry, or you look at guys like that have been in the league and been in the conditioning program for a few years, he's still got college like baby fat on him, like in a good way, which means he's going to chisel more and more and more, which is what happened to Corey Dillon, by the way. As he got more established in the league, he started getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more chiseled. And Stevenson's already, he's a freak, right? And it's already going to be crazy with that center of gravity when he really gets into that conditioning program after a few years. This kid, you get him and Damian Harris, man. Oh, what a 1-2 punch.
I think I said to Andrew at some point during the game, I'd like to see Harris go back. And Andrew said back to the pro set.
Oh,
he wants both back.
Near and far, man.
Harris
Look at that.
Stevenson in the game at the same time, because I think that would create a nightmare for a team to prepare. I mean, I don't,
Mike, they should run. Mike, they should run the Stoneham High Veer, man. Isn't that what they run down there?
The wing T.
Isn't that what they run the
double wing? Yeah.
I caught Mike off guard with that. You didn't know that one was
coming. To kind of expound a little bit on the offensive side, Bolden has all of a sudden is reborn in the backfield too. I mean,
he's a great receiver.
He had a great game.
He's a good receiving back. Mike, go ahead. You've been trying to get in here. Go ahead.
I mean, let's start with the fact that they got the mountain back at right tackle, right?
Oh, man.
Brown was
huge.
back there. And you didn't have to worry about a leaky sieve there, or you didn't have to worry about a limited talent guard, right? You got to put Onwenu back. You get Trent Brown back. All of a sudden, you get the guys playing where you need them to play. I mean, I nothing wrong with the max effort guys that they had in it at guard, but they were limited in their capabilities. That's why they're backup guards.
No, that's right.
I think that offensive line that you have there right now, that's a lot better offensive line. What a difference Isaiah Wynn makes when he's got a competent guard playing next to him.
That's right.
Please don't try to cut Myles Garrett on the edge in the red.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't.
Speaking of freaks, I mean, I know they had a terrible game, but every time I just look at Myles Garrett, I'm just like, I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, I feel like I'm looking at Superman. Like, it's unbelievable.
And I know we don't want to do a ton of analysis, but again, the Patriots schemed for Myles Garrett. They chipped him.
Yeah.
They had two guys on that side. They had a tight end over there. I mean, they weren't going to let Garrett, run free.
Right.
And I think the offensive line, and I heard one of the guys this week talking about it, is they are now rounding into one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
Which we thought was going to be the case in the beginning of the year.
And to Mike's point, they got some key parts back,
right?
So they can play where they're supposed to be playing. And I mean, it's not a coincidence that they are physical running the football when they're doing the things they're doing up front right now.
I agree. So you guys talked about bringing back the pro set, which I love. It's a great call. And when you run the pro set, I guess it depends on the formation, but usually there's only two receivers on the field most times. And I'd be fine with that with Kendrick Bourne and Myers, who got into the box, by the way. Jakobi got into the box on Sunday. I was excited to see that, and really cool moment, by the way. Great touchdown. Horrible tackling, but great touchdown.
That got really hurt on that.
Yeah, he got hurt bad though.
Did he really get? So he actually got hurt. I feel
they
bad.
took him off in a car.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
I was watching the game.
Tell what happened.
I was driving, so I was watching the game. I saw the touchdown, and then not while I was driving. We were at the airport actually, but I saw the touchdown, and then I was like, "Oh, his pride's hurt." But now I feel like crap because he actually got hurt. That's not very good take.
So I'll give you guys some inside scoop on this. The guy who runs the medical director for the Patriots, who's usually standing next to Bill Belichick, treats one of my family members, and for HIPAA, I won't say more than that.
Sure.
But happened to be treating that family member yesterday, and that member just happened to say, "Hey, so what happened on that play? Why didn't the ambulance come out on the field?" And he was not happy because actually the ambulance was supposed to come out onto the field and take that player off, and instead they rolled a stretcher out there and brought it out and didn't follow procedures.
Oh, man.
So there's quite a brouhaha going on right now down in Foxborough about why the ambulance didn't take that player off the field.
We got to we got to follow the protocols now. Somebody's hurt on the field. Yeah, me too.
When they rolled that cart off the field, the ambulance was supposed to roll onto the field, and they never did. Instead, they rolled the stretcher out onto the field and rolled him out of the building.
Come on, guys.
Stretcher.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Get off the field.
So there
the right
you go.
way.
There's something you're not going to hear anyplace else but on this great podcast.
That's right.
Inside medical scoop. But we talked about Bourne. We talked about Myers. No surprise was at the bottom of the receiver list. Nelson Aguilar continues to live there. He just drives me freaking crazy every week. We didn't get Beckham. And I wanted him. I'll be honest. I made the call, the hot take. We were going to sign him, and then his front running self went to the Rams, who got smashed last night, which was great. So I don't want anything to do with them. Now I've totally 180'd on that.
Jilted lover.
That's right. But I want to see more. And Mike, I think I'm going to speak right down your alley. I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say. Everybody, just get ready. I want to see less Nelson Aguilar on the field because he's a bum, and I want to see more WR1 on the field, or who might be tight end one, N'Keal Harry. I want to see more Harry on the field. That's who I want to see on the field moving forward. What do you think about that? Any takes on that? And am I crazy? Am I crazy?
I think it's a great idea.
So, Coach, I think they've basically put him in to play the position Jonnu Smith was playing, right? Is that move tight end? He's blocking and, he's sliding into that seam. And I think you called it, man. I think he's tight end. He's that move tight end. He's not that inline tight end. He's the move tight end.
I would offer to say, after watching Sunday, that he blocks better than Jonnu Smith.
Oh man, hot take. I think you're right, man.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's as athletic.
I forgot Jonnu Smith was inactive.
That's why my face looks like this. I just thought, holy cow, I forgot he was inactive.
I totally forgot.
He didn't play. He didn't play.
I mean,
he's hurt. He's hurt.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, welcome to the party, because I've been on the N'Keal train for a little while here. And it's one of the reasons I didn't want to trade for a wide receiver at the trade deadline or sign OBJ.
I've always liked Harry.
Well, he hasn't produced, to be clear,
right.
and he probably was not worth a first round pick. But the way he's blocking and the nastiness with which he's setting up the run game, and by the way, you better believe that in a big game, whether that's in the Bills games or when we make the playoffs,
that's right.
They're just setting Harry up for a couple of play actions where he's going to go for a long touchdown because he's just out there mauling people. Right. I mean, he's blasting Myles Garrett twice on running awesome. Plays.
It was awesome.
I actually am really happy for him. I'm really glad it's coming together, and I think he's carving out a role, and we'll see if he can do more with that. But I think Mike, I think you're right to say he might be playing a little bit of that move tight end right now, and you might see him more in the slot over these next few weeks, especially if Johnny needs a little bit of time to
and I know, Mike, your heavy take on the 3 tight end deal, and I don't know why, if they're going to do that with Harry as the move tight end, maybe they go with 3 tight ends. When Smith comes back healthy, or if he comes back healthy, they go with Smith and Henry and Harry. I mean, that could be a pretty deadly receiving situation too,
Well, I'd like to see. So Smith has always been kind of the as Dan Orlovsky says, get the ball in the hands type of guy quickly.
Yeah, catch
to
it
make
though.
A play. Well, that's the problem. So I'd actually prefer I like seeing Smith in the backfield in the Panthers game. Like, I think he's dynamic in the backfield. Jonnu's not the type of guy that's just going to stream down the field and you're just going to hit him in stride. Like, he may drop that 50% of the time, like even if he's wide open. So Harry won't, though. Harry, to your point, Andrew, and you've always said this, and I've never been on the train until now. I mean, I don't know if there's a better contested catch guy on the team than N'Keal Harry. Like, he's going to go up and get the ball, and he's going to break a tackle. He still scored in that Kansas City game last year.
Oh, I was just thinking
or a couple years back. A couple years back. That was a touchdown, and he broke 3 tackles. Like that's what he's going to do when you give him the ball.
He's confidence, man. That's the main thing. So the reason I'm up on him and I'm buying today is if the running game and the blocking is giving him some confidence, it'll start to flow into the rest of the game. I mean, he was out there thinking too much for 2 years. Brady wouldn't throw him the ball. Last year, who knows what the heck happened. I think he's, I don't know that he's going to ever return value on a first round pick, but I think he can be a better contributor than most people think.
100%.
And Mike, the one thing I will say, Aguilar's sealing the hell out of those corners.
You're right.
So
I know.
The run game.
I know.
He's opening up the second, that second level for those running
I just like to see him run by somebody in the secondary one time. Listen, this is a fans podcast. Okay. I'd like to see him one time on play action, get through somebody, and Mac hit him in stride for like an 80-yard touch. Is that too much to ask? Is it too much to ask?
Well, I mean, he did draw, I think, 2 pass interference calls in this last game.
I know.
Listen,
in that case, I think that's a case where
coverage, and Mac just slightly overthrew him.
Mac they threw a deep ball to him.
Yeah, so I'm coming in with hot takes that I wasn't even watching the game.
The ball was overthrown.
Well, speaking of that,
the other thing that they do, and speaking from if I'm a Cleveland Browns fan on Monday morning, I'm thinking, okay, 1 reverse maybe, 2 reverses maybe. 3 times they ran the reverse and got huge chunks of yardage out of it. Those are the ways they can also create offense.
That's right.
For Aguilar and Bourne and those guys.
No, you're right.
And I think getting ball in hands is huge to those guys.
No, listen, you're right. I think I'm gonna say this, and then I want to move into a different topic. But I think that I don't know if anybody this is a crazy take. I don't know if anybody in the league throws a better touch pass than Mac Jones. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I don't know if anybody in the league throws a better touch pass. And
I wish you could have seen it.
It's beautiful. I mean, it is just God. It's beautiful.
The one he threw to Myers down the left sideline was a thing that was just unbelievable.
I mean,
I don't even know if that was as good as the one he threw to Hunter Henry on the out.
Oh, that was a great throw too.
He just precision, man.
He
might not have the strongest arm, but he sure puts it where he wants it. And that, as we've seen over the last 20 years, we got spoiled. That might be more important than having a strong arm. A lot of strong arms don't make it in the league. There's only one quarterback I know who could kind of put it wherever he wanted every single time, and he's won.
His arm.
Exactly right.
His arm looked pretty strong on the one to Bourne down the middle in the end zone for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, I don't have that.
No, I think he's got a. Yeah, I think
people just needed a reason to knock him down a few pegs.
Sure.
Listen, I think
I read an article this week by Dan Wetzel over at Yahoo Sports. I mean, he said he called it already. Like Mac should have been the number 1 pick, or at the very least number 2 in the draft, and everybody's already kicking themselves. Not only that they didn't take him, but that they let him fall to Belichick at 15.
How mad do you think Kyle Shanahan is when he wanted to take him the entire time?
It's going to cost him his job. I mean, as I read the article, that was part of what I thought was they're not winning, which is the reason he'll lose his job. But the ownership is probably thinking, you made me trade 2 first-round picks to move up 9 spots to then take a guy who's not ready to play while they got the guy at 15 that you could have got at 12 had you just stayed. That's a huge, I mean, he and the owner better have a really good relationship. That's all I can say. Because every time I watch,
might cost Lynch's job too.
Every time I watch Dan Orlovsky, he talks about how Max should have been the number 3 pick in the draft.
That's right.
He should have been the 3rd pick. He should have been the 3rd pick.
That's right.
And then someone, I mean, what are you going to do? I'm glad the Patriots got him.
Yeah, no, I'm glad they have him too. And more and more, he looks more and more like Peyton Manning every week out there.
All right, so here's your fan take of the week.
Oh boy, okay. Set it up. Get ready.
So Shanahan's the new offensive coordinator for the Patriots when Josh goes up and takes over the head coaching job.
Whoa, man. Whoa, where did Mike? I love it. I'd bring in Shanahan now if McDaniel's in there.
I'm not sure Shanahan. I mean, Mike, I love it, but that guy.
You just said he's getting fired, right?
The massive ego, man. I don't know if he's being anybody's OC. He's going to wait for the next job. But hey, we're here. I mean,
why not
for a year?
Let's go, man.
He gets fired. Gives him a chance to recover.
Well, and I feel good about Josh McDaniels being the head coach too. You snuck that in as a condition of that take. And
it's true.
Yeah.
I'm a big McDaniels fan. I know he gets blasted every week in the BSJ chat.
100%.
Play calling. Not this week.
No,
that was a thing.
No, he had a handle on the game this week, and he had a total handle on the way Cleveland was playing defense. So, everything he called. Of course, I will say it's easier to call a game when you're not behind the chains on first down because you're jumping off because you're moving illegally or this or that.
Mike Davis talked about that 2 weeks ago. Mike Davis talking about pre-snap penalties, man.
I know we're going to get to previewing the week ahead because we got a Thursday, so we're almost here. It's almost
hold on. Yep, go ahead.
Check in on the former New England.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
As a fan,
nice segue.
I always check the box score, watch a little bit of Brady, and now I get to watch a little bit and check the box score of Cam Newton.
Hey, Dad, you want to do your impersonation of Cam on Sunday? It's pretty good. You did it earlier. What happened? Is he what?
He's back. I'm back.
Oh, it was great, man. Oh, it was great. 15-yard penalty too. It ripped that helmet right off.
I think he touched the ball twice in the first 5 plays, and he threw a touchdown pass and ran for 1.
Well, which by the way, on the touchdown run, I'm pretty sure the other 10 players on the field thought he was going to go up the middle, which is where the play was supposed to go. The play broke down, and he got there, and it felt like it took a year and a half for him to get around the corner there, and he got around the corner. And once he gets that head of steam going on the 2, look out, man. Ain't nobody stopping that, buddy.
Let me just say one thing real quick about my take on Cam. Cam brings so much more than X's and O's to the game. Because if you watch the excitement on the Panther sideline, And even Christian McCaffrey, who's not the most outgoing guy in the world, he went crazy when Cam scored that touchdown.
That's right.
I mean, he's got the excitement. I mean, the Panthers came out and played like.
Well, that's why
we playing against the Patriots last week. That was a total.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. They were off. Well, and there's a reason why we got the free agents we got this year on the offensive side of the ball, and it's because of Cam.
Hottest of hot takes today. I'm not ready to call a Super Bowl. Put us in the Super Bowl yet, like Mike. But we're a better team.
Get on the train.
We're a better team, top to bottom, than the Arizona Cardinals. Throw records out. I don't care. Patriots and Cardinals line up, especially without Kyler Murray.
I was going to say Murray makes them better.
You can trust both scores. You can trust the 24-6 from last week in Charlotte, and you can trust the 34-10 in Arizona. And those both things are true. Panthers are better because of Cam, and the Panthers also aren't as good as us. And they didn't face a defense like ours on Sunday.
That's right.
And Cam sure is better for having played in New England and having played with Josh McDaniels.
Sure.
Absolutely. So I think we'll put up.
What about Tommy?
Oh, man.
Bucks.
Ooh.
Although down there,
he plays for a dumb football team.
Well, man.
Well,
man, we got hot takes coming out.
We might have Bruce Arians down there in Patriots jacket.
Holy cow. Man. Tommy didn't have much to say after that.
Although that was like, you knew, I mean, based on what I saw in the playoffs last year, Rivera kind of has the game plan to siphon off the Bucks a little bit. But and they didn't have Brown, they didn't have Gronk, so it was a different team. But Mike, you had a thought on that, I think.
I mean, isn't that what Giselle says? He can't throw it and catch it. Two of those interceptions looked like they were on the receiver.
Yeah, they were. We're bringing Giselle in. We're talking about dumb football teams. What a show we got for you.
Well,
today.
They did say the guys Monday morning we're talking about the loss of Gronk and Brown are a huge deal to Brady.
Oh, 100%. There's two most trusted targets. 100%. All right. So good stuff. We got a couple minutes left. We got to get out here. We got a hard stop today. Let's just go around the horn, talk about Thursday. Just predictions, get it in, get it out. And then we'll wrap up. Andrew, you want to start?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little nervous. I don't love the big win, turning around and playing on a Thursday in a game that you should win. I think it's easy to get distracted. That being said, I think, if they run the ball and they stop the run, they'll have a lot of time to tee off on Matt Ryan, which is what I think will happen. I don't think it won't be like Sunday, but I think we should win a pretty ugly game. It'll look like most Thursday night games. I'll say 27-14. Actually, we'll say 31-14 Patriots.
There you go. All right. 31-14 Pats. Mike, we'll shoot over to you.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Winter Coates comes up exactly with the right analysis, right? Thursday night game. I think this is a team that's learning how to play Patriots football, and I'm really nervous that they're not going to have had a full week of coaching and that some of that mistake repeating is going to come back. I'm also nervous when you have, the Mike White situation, right? Where you don't have the guy in the right spot. Maybe they haven't done all their scouting. So do I think they're going to be the more talented team and they're going to find a way to win? Yeah. Do I think it's going to be ugly? You bet. I certainly, I wouldn't feel comfortable betting on this game, but I'm hopeful that they're going to prevail, and I'm expecting it exactly as you said, Andrew, to be ugly.
All right. So speaking of betting on the game, the line is -6.5. Patriots are away road favorites. Rather, total is 47. Dad, over to you.
Falling in line with you other guys, I think that the early in the game's ugly. I mean, I think it starts out ugly. The Patriots kind of get their legs under them. I think they know Matt Ryan. I don't worry as much about the Mike White effect as they know Matt Ryan. He doesn't have the weapons he's had in the past either. So I think the Patriots do win the game. I think it's a struggle early. Again, because of Thursday night, because of the short turnaround. But I think they're 2 touchdowns better. 31-14 is a good number, Andrew, but and I think even I might even go 35-17. I think the Patriots find a way. I think they get a defensive touchdown. And
man, so I got to say, I mean, I like the analysis and I like the wise thoughts, but Did you guys watch the last 2 weeks of what the Patriots did to the Panthers and to the Browns? I don't care if they play tonight on Tuesday. I don't care if they play on the moon. I watched, and I know in the NFL you can't connect two games. So Dallas beating Atlanta down and the Patriots beating the Browns down have nothing to do with each other. But I got to be honest with you, this Falcons team is so bad, and you want to talk about a dumb football team. They might be the dumbest football team in the NFL. Matt Ryan's going to have no time. They have Patterson's probably not going to play, who's the Swiss Army knife. They have no Calvin Ridley. Hope the best for him that he's doing well with the situation he's got going on. They're going to have Kyle Pitts, Zacchaeus, and Gage. And they're going to double Pitts. Get out of here. I mean, literally, I don't know if
it was the score.
I'm going to.
Shot clock winding down.
going to. I don't know if the Falcons are going to score. They might kick a field goal or two. Like I think the Patriots are on a roll. I think they're going to have a good week of practice. I think Belichick's the coach is going to keep everything together. I don't think you have to worry about a Cowboys debacle against the Broncos like you did a couple weeks ago. Different team, different coach team. I'm going to go 45-3. I don't think the Falcons. I'm telling you, I don't think the Falcons are going to score. Dad, you talked about pressure on Matt Ryan. I think it's going to be a bad day for them. I think their season's done and they don't have much to play for, and the Pats are on a roll. So that's what I'm going with. 45-3, the final. I think it's going to go over. I guess that would be by 1 point, and the Patriots cover almost the total by themselves, and sure enough, cover the spread. I don't care if it's on the road. That's what I think. Boom. Thoughts on that?
No, you're right.
Keep it rolling.
All right.
Sounds great.
That's right.
Awesome, man. That was a great show. We had a lot today. A lot of stuff. Hey, like I said, email us, patstailgateparty@gmail.com, patstailgateparty@gmail.com. We want more people to join the party. It's a fan's perspective. No expertise, no analysis needed. Just come in with hot takes, thoughts, emotions, your voice, and a phone. That's all you need. So episode 9 in the books. Enjoy the game on Thursday, and we'll see you next week.